So today's video is going to be my second fall makeup tutorial of the season. I mean, come on. Y'all know I love to film fall looks on my channel. So today I really want to play around with some greens, smoke it out a little bit, pop in some yellow, nude lip, brown lip. Honestly, we'll see where this look takes us. But before I begin, I want you guys to know that Elf Cosmetics is sponsoring a portion of today's video, which is very, very exciting because my channel is all about beauty on a budget. Not only do I love to incorporate, some new higher end products, but I love to use affordable products that are not only user-friendly but very easily accessible. So today I'm going to be talking all about 5 of their most iconic and best-selling products that I know you guys are going to love. So like the video, subscribe to my channel, click that little bell so that way YouTube will notify you when I upload, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. With that, let me zoom you in and let's get to blending, okay? First things first, I'm gonna prime my eyelids with an eyeshadow primer. I'm just gonna use my MAC Paint Pot. This is in Soft Ochre. I really love this because it is a dry base primer, so it's really, really easy for me to blend shadows directly over top of it. And I'm just using a fluffy brush to make sure this is laid nice and even all over the lid. All right, so we're nice, we're primed. Let's actually move on to eyeshadow application. But before I do that, I do wanna go in with just a light layer of a bone colored shadow. The eyeshadow palette I'm gonna use today doesn't have a bone colored shadow in it. So I'm just gonna take my face powder. Fun trick, if you don't have a bone colored shadow, just use your face powder. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm gonna take a light layer of this right here into the crease. This is something I started doing again recently just because I feel like it really helps with blending. A lot of you actually thought I changed up my process when I filmed my Norvina palette review, but this is something that I have been doing for a little minute now. Just a very light layer of shadow in the crease. I'm not taking this all over the lid, just in the crease. Let's actually talk about the eyeshadow palette I'm gonna use in today's video because it's a palette that I've been itching to try and test out and I finally have it in my possession. It is the Earth and Ocean palette by Elf Cosmetics. I love their eyeshadow palettes. They're extremely pigmented. They blend really, really well onto the eyelids and they're just very, very universal, and oftentimes they do have really stellar color stories. As you can see within this palette, it has the blues and the greens. Today we are going to be focusing on using the green just because this is a fall makeup look, and I mean, hello, green. If that doesn't scream fall, I don't know what does. The first shade I'm going to pick up is this one right here. It's called Desert Storm. I'm going to take that on a fluffy brush, and this shade is going to be my transitional shade. Oh, immediately pigmentation. I see you come through. I am all about it. So what I'm doing here is I'm really taking my time to build that color up, especially in my outer V area. So I'm just gonna kind of pat it, and once I have the color placed exactly where I want it, I'll kind of dust off a little, and then I'll just flick my brush inwards. And that is giving me such a beautiful blend, instantly. I didn't even have to try all that hard, and that's what I love about e.l.f. shadows, is that they blend very, very easily onto the eyes. I don't know what it is, you guys, but I really love this color all over my lids, especially for the fall season. I'm obsessed. Super, super, super obsessed. I'm just gonna switch brushes here just because I do need more of a smaller brush just so that way I could really smoke out this outer corner. I'm gonna take this shade, it's called Can't Kelp It, right there. And I'm really gonna take this and focus this on my outer V just because I do want to really smoke out this area. So I'm just going to take my brush, tap a little bit. Ooh, this is a beautiful color. So as you can see, I'm really just tapping the color very, very softly, and then I'm flicking the brush inwards because I really want my outer V just to be very, very nice and intense. Now, don't worry about the harsh edges right now. I'm really just focusing on placing the color where I want it, and then I'm gonna go in and start diffusing out that edge. Actually, you know what? Can I do a blue all over the lid, like a teal? Is that too much? Probably. Who puts teal on their eyes during the fall? Me. One thing I really love about makeup is that you can be so creative. You can mix any color you want as long as you blend the lines seamlessly, and girl, it's gonna look good, it's gonna look fly. I'm gonna take a fluffy brush and I'm going to really diffuse out this outer V. Really just soften those lines. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of Desert Storm on a smaller brush, And I'm just gonna concentrate it right here in the very inner part, connect it with the shade called Can't Help It. Now I know this is a little bit similar to the last look I did, but I am going to incorporate some gold into this look. And then like maybe for my next look, I can do like a mulberry color, but I'm just really feeling like these greens for fall. I'm definitely gonna cut my crease with this look. To cut my crease, I will be using the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. You guys know this is such an iconic move for e.l.f. I really love the coverage of this. It's extremely full coverage, which is something I can appreciate in a concealer. I am gonna use this underneath my eyes, but I am gonna take a little bit of it on the back of my hand. And then with a flat brush, I'm just gonna carve out a little bit of lid space. Then with a clean, flat brush, I'm just gonna kind of soften up this concealer edge, just because I feel like it makes it easier to blend all the shadows afterwards. Now that my crease is nice and cut, let's actually talk lid color. I do want to use several different lid colors for this look. I kind of want to use this one, and this one, or maybe even like this, and this, but we'll see how it goes. I'm going to pick up this shade first. It's called Sun Yourself, and I'm just going to take it on a flat brush. I'm going to spray my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus to get it going, and I'm going to pop this in like the very inner 1/3. Then for like the center, I'm going to take some of Gold Rush, which is such a stunning gold. I'm going to take a little bit onto my finger and I'm going to start tapping it and really melting it into the shade called Sun Yourself. The next shade I'm gonna go into is this one right here, which is more of like a gray color, just because I feel like it will blend better into Can't Help It. So I'm just gonna take a flat, fluffy brush, spray it with some Fix Plus, and pat it right next to the yellow just to give it a better blend. So I'm just gonna take it right here in this area, and I'm gonna bring it over and then just tap it where the yellow and the gray kind of meet, just to blend it a little bit better. And after adding like that shimmery gray, you'll be able to see that that gold line isn't as stark and harsh, whereas like over here you can see it's like really harsh. This kind of just like it blends like so beautifully into each other. I love that. So if there's one thing that makes me really happy is using a palette like this that actually makes sense, like the color story makes sense. So you can create like such a beautiful like ombre effect with your eye makeup look just by using these shades, because they all go really well together. Like I feel like that's the key when making an eyeshadow palette, and I definitely feel like e.l.f. nailed it with this one right here. I really want to use like the other side, so definitely stay tuned if you guys want me to create like an Instagram TV video using the other side of the palette. Let me know, because I would be happy to film that for you. I'm actually gonna do a winged eyeliner now. I'm gonna use this eyeliner by Anastasia. It definitely has become one of my personal favorites. This is their brand new liquid eyeliner. It's kind of like a cross mix between like a felt tip and a brush tip, and it's super black, like super matte. I love everything about it. So I'm going to be quiet for a second, and I'm gonna do like an intense cat eye wing, because I cannot multitask for the life of me. When I tell you I hold my breath the entire time while doing eyeliner, I hold my breath the entire time. It is that serious. It's something serious. But anyways, I'm going to move on to false lashes. Today, I'm going to be using these. These are made in collaboration with Brittany Bare Makeup. They're called Poppin', and I think this look will be poppin' if I pop these on. So with the power of editing, bam! Lashes are on and things are looking really poppin'. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna clean up the fallout underneath my eyes, not too much of it, and then we're actually gonna start working on the rest of the face. Before I actually move on to face primer, I am going to moisturize my skin a little bit. I'm gonna use this right here by e.l.f. This is the Hello Hydration Face Cream. This is really good, you guys. It has hyaluronic acid in it, which is gonna add really nice hydration and moisture back into the skin. If you've been following me for a while now, then you know this time of the year, every single year, my skin gets super dry, so I really need something that's going to give me moisture and just make my skin really nice and moisturized. So this really does it for me. By the way, if you guys are interested in any elf products I feature in today's video, I will have them all listed down below in the description, so make sure you guys check those out. So while I wait for that to really sink into the skin, I'm gonna put on a lip mask. This is the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. This is in vanilla. I really love this stuff, you guys. I like to put it on right before I do my face makeup and also right before I film because it makes my lips so moisturized. It's unreal. So I'm going to let that sit while I do the rest of my face. Let's actually talk about primer. I'm going to use two different primers today. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer. You guys know I love this primer here. It's very tacky, so my foundation is really going to stick and adhere to it. I'm also going to use another cult favorite. This is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This is really going to smooth out my pores and uneven skin texture. So I'm going to take a little bit and put it in the areas where I need a little bit more pore filling. So like right here in this area. Then I'm going to take a brush. This is my Sephora Pro Foundation number 47 brush, and I'm going to push it into my skin. I really like to apply this with a brush just because I feel like it really gets in there. It really smooths out the skin more than my fingers can do for me. I'm also going to put a little bit onto my nose. Okay, after putting on the Poreless Putty Primer, you guys know I love to double prime. I don't know what it is. It's just something I'm into. I'm going to go in with the Jelly Pop Dew Primer. If you guys haven't tried this primer, I highly recommend that you guys try it out. I'm really just going to focus this on all the areas where I didn't put the Poreless Putty Primer. So like right here on my cheeks, forehead, and T-zone. Oh, I love this primer. You guys definitely got to check it out. I'm not even hyping it up. It really is that good. We're nice. We're primed. It's actually time to color correct. I am going to use some new color correctors that we are launching this fall with collab makeup. This is them right here. I know the color looks a little scary. It's a little dark, but this is really going to cancel all the blues and greens underneath my eyes. As you can see, I have some darkness right here in this area. It is not it, sis, so I am just going to dot a little bit here. Ooh, so scary. Oh my god. To blend it out, I'm going to use this sponge right here by e.l.f. Cosmetics. Literally the best beauty sponge I have ever tried. I use this in almost every single one of my videos. You guys have heard me talk about this a million times over. So again, I'm just going to look up and blend out the concealer. Now don't worry, I know it looks really scary, but we're going to cover it up with a full coverage, foolproof concealer here in a second. Around my mouth, I'm going to use our salmon colored color corrector. And the reason I'm using this one as opposed to the one that is a little bit more orange is because the foundation I'm going to use today isn't like super full coverage. So I really want this to be covered underneath the foundation. So I'm going to take some of that, blend it out with my sponge, and also take some on my lip as well. Y'all already know I'm all about color correcting, so these color correctors are incredible. The formula is beautiful. They're easily blendable, like really awesome. Well, let's actually move on to foundation. The foundation I'm going to use is this one right here by Fenty Beauty. I am mixing two shades. I have 235 and 230 to get my custom shade. Now, I will have a full review video on this foundation. It's taken me a hot minute to actually do this review because it is a 5-day wear test. I feel like it is a little bit late to do the review, so let me know if you guys still want it. I have a full wear test. I just need to update it with the 5 days after, but I'm working on it. I know it's going up way late, but I've just had a lot going on, so let me know if you guys still want that. I'm just taking a brush and I'm stippling it all over. By the way, this right here is a number 56 foundation brush by Sephora Collection, and I'm just using a brush at first to place the foundation exactly where I want it. Then I'm going to take my damp sponge by e.l.f. and I'm going to blend it out. Y'all see my little ears? I had to get my hair out of my face because, girl, I could not blend the foundation on my forehead. So this is doing a really good job at keeping my hair out of my face. I'm in it to win it. All I can say at this point in time is that my skin looks incredible. Incredible. I'm gonna wipe some of this off my lips because, girl, I'm looking like The Walking Dead, a cast member out The Walking Dead. Anyways, let's actually move on to under eye concealer. I will be using this by e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. 16-hour camo concealer in a light beige. What I love most about this concealer is the applicator. As you can see, the applicator is just large and in charge. Definitely a really full coverage concealer. I'm going to take a little bit of this underneath my eye, and I'm going to use this to cover up that orange color corrector that we put on earlier. The reason I didn't use a foundation to completely cover it up is because I wanted to show you how full coverage this concealer is. It's out of this world. I'm going to use my e.l.f. sponge to blend it out. I'm also going to take just a little bit of the concealer down my T-zone. Honestly, you really don't need a lot of this because it is so full coverage. So one thing I really like to do is whatever's left on my sponge, I will dab it down my T-zone. But I really just wanted to show you how incredible and full coverage this is. Now we definitely need to set this under eye concealer in place. So I'm going to use my tried and true Collab Ultra Fine Set the Stage Loose Setting Powder in Porcelain Ivory. Y'all know how much I love this stuff. It really does a good job setting underneath my eyes. So I'm going to use that same e.l.f. sponge we've been using the entire video. Look up and set. I'm also going to take some of this powder right here around my nose. I'm gonna take some powder on my chin and just in all the areas where I tend to get a little bit more oily than usual, like my T-zone and forehead. This powder does a really good job of like mattifying. Let me know which powder you guys like to use whenever you're looking for a powder that's really gonna mattify the T-zone. I feel like you guys always give me really great recommendations. Now that my T-zone is nice and set, I know I look a little crazy, I look a little dry, but we are gonna set that down at the very end. I kind of want to go in with some actual face powder. So the powder I'm gonna use today is this one right here by Charlotte Tilbury. This is one of my personal favorites. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in the shade 2. The brush I'm gonna use to put the powder all over is this brush right here. This is the Flawless Face Brush by e.l.f. This is really good to set the entire face down, and it is one of their best sellers, so it's a standout product for them. Now I'm just gonna finish off my lower lash line with a little bit of this shade right here. It's called Spruced Up. It is a really pretty green, so I'm gonna take like a flat definer brush and push this closest to my lash line and smoke it out. I'm gonna take a little bit of black eyeliner in my waterline, like right here in the outer V. Nothing too crazy, just kind of connecting it with my wing so that way it looks more defined. Just gonna pop on some lower lash mascara. This is the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. Y'all know I love this. And I'm just gonna coat my lower lashes with it. So let's actually bronze the skin a little bit. I'm gonna use this by Fenty Beauty. This is their Sunstocka bronzer in the shade Shady Biz. This is one of my perfect matches in this bronzer. I don't know what it is. It just looks so perfect on my skin tone. So if you are of my skin tone and you've been looking for a really awesome shade, I definitely recommend Shady Biz. It adds really nice warmth to the skin. For me personally, I do like to actually do my highlighter before my blush, so I'm gonna use this one right here by e.l.f. This one is in the shade 24 Karat Gold, and it is so beautiful. You guys look at that highlight. So good. I'm gonna take this Sephora brush here, and I'm just gonna pop it on. I'm also gonna take a little bit of this highlight on the tip of my nose, and also down the bridge of my nose. Now, since the eyes are very vampy, I'm gonna go in with a blush like this by Benefit. This is in the shade Dallas. It is really pretty. I'm just gonna take it on a blush brush here, and I'm gonna pop this on my cheeks. Just smile a little bit. Oh, this is gonna complement the look so nicely. So there's a part of me that wants to do like a really deep, bold, vampy lip, and then there's another side of me that's like, no, just play it safe and do nude. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do in today's video. I'm gonna use this lip liner right here by Jouer. It's one of my all-time favorite lip liners. It's their long-wearing cream lip liner in the shade Fawn. I'm gonna use this to line my lips and to fill them in completely. So this is it. This is the final look after popping on my lip color. You have a very smoky, green, golden, yellow fall makeup look. I really, really hope you guys loved it. I know I've been doing a lot of green fall looks recently, but I'm definitely gonna film like some that are cranberry, smoky, sultry. Definitely stay tuned. Be on the lookout. I have so many more fall looks to come. Huge thank you to e.l.f. Cosmetics for sponsoring today's video. If you guys are interested in any of the e.l.f. products I mentioned, check out the description box down below. I will have everything listed right down there. And until next time, I'll be sure to catch you guys all on the next one. Deuces.